the 5 mistakes I made as a leader that I thought were right. Now, what if I told you that right now, as a leader, you're actually holding your team back? And here's the thing, you probably don't even realize it. I've been there, we have the best intentions, but in the end, we end up becoming accidental diminishers, unintentionally stifling the very people we're trying to lift up. Today, I'm calling out the 5 ways I diminished my teams without even knowing it. I made these mistakes during my time at Netflix and Zappos, and I'll tell you, they cost me big. Let's talk about how you can avoid them. These concepts are made more solid in Liz Wiseman's book, The Multipliers. I'll link it in the description below, but please comment if you've read it or if any of these profiles fit you. I had no idea I was creating such a dependent environment. I thought I was empowering, enabling, but the culture I was creating was far from it. I learned over time not to make these mistakes, but I'm here to share my stories so you don't have to learn the same way I did. Don't forget to stick around until the end, where I'll give you a powerful tool to help you diffuse and unlock any crucial conflict or tension point between you or anyone else in your organization. Mistake 1, the idea machine. I thought I was inspiring my team by always coming up with new ideas, but in reality, I was suffocating them. When I was building the early versions of the Netflix's Creative Studio, I thought I was being this visionary leader by bringing up new concepts to the table every week. Fresh ways to promote our content, new strategies to drive engagement, new test ideas to continue to push the product forward. But truth be told, I was overwhelming my team. I didn't realize that every new idea I threw out was either shutting down their own creativity or creating an expectation that they now had to execute. They weren't even trying to bring their ideas anymore because they would feel either drowned out or exhausted at the idea of having to chase and create the next new thing. If you're constantly the idea machine, you're not inspiring innovation, you're stifling it. Mistake 2, one of the biggest ones I made, rescuing the team. This one was very hard for me to swallow. I was a rescuer, the leader, always sweeping in to save the day. I thought I was protecting my team, but I was actually disempowering them. At Zappos, I thought I was being the reliable leader when I stepped in to fix problems for anyone on my team. If something wasn't working on a marketing campaign or web content project hit a snag, I'd jump in and help save it. This wasn't to be in control, it was to help them from missing the mark or even failing at the job, because I didn't want anyone to fail. But here's what I didn't get at the time. I was stealing the learning opportunities from them. They never got the chance to figure out how to fix things themselves because I was always there. I wasn't leading, I was enabling. Leadership isn't about playing rescuer. It's about letting others build the skills to problem solve on their own, which will grow them and the people around them. This was a classic Rico mistake early in my career. Okay, mistake 3, seeking perfection. Perfection, it's the ultimate leadership trap. And the worst part, you don't even know you're doing it. When I led the product video team at Netflix, I had incredibly high standards. Every trailer, every asset, every test, everything had to be perfect. I would nitpick designs, suggest tiny tweaks, or worse, I don't like to admit this, over-the-shoulder edit because I knew it could be better. What I didn't see was that my team started second-guessing themselves, hesitating to take risks, and avoid pushing boundaries because they feared my critique and the critique of everyone else in the product organization. Perfectionism kills creativity and autonomy. It's like telling your team, you're good, but not good enough. Let go of control, let them make mistakes. That's how growth happens. Mistake 4, rapid fire decisions. Being decisive, that feels like a strength, right? Right? It should. But that's wrong. If you're constantly making rapid fire decisions without involving your team, you're training them to depend on you. Back at Zappos again, I thought my quick decision making was help keeping us agile. We had deadlines, product was moving fast, and I needed to keep the team on track. But what I didn't realize was that I was preventing them from developing their own critical thinking skills. Every time I made a decision without consulting them, I was teaching them that their input didn't matter, that they should wait for my direction. So ask yourself, are you making decisions because it's easier? Or are you making decisions that help build a stronger, more capable team? All right, last one. Mistake 5, the always accessible leader. Now, this one's gonna make some people uncomfortable, being too accessible. I used to pride myself on being the leader who was always available. Open door, open Slack, open text policy. At Zappos, I was the guy who would answer emails at all hours, jump on calls whenever the team needed, whatever, whenever it was needed. But here's the reality. By always being there, I was actually fostering a culture of dependency. My team got so used to running everything by me that they stopped solving problems on their own. I wasn't creating leaders, I was just creating more followers. Your availability shouldn't be your greatest strength. Instead, teach your team to think for themselves, make their own calls, and only come to you when absolutely necessary. If the team can run without you, if you won the lottery and left, that's even better. How else would you take a vacation? All right, that's how you build a team that doesn't just need you, but can thrive without you. Not only was I enabling, but I was setting the example for my team and the rest of the company. If I was always on, they thought my expectation was for them to always be on too, which was not the case. But as leaders, we model the behavior we want to see. So there you have it, the 5 ways you might be unknowingly diminishing your team. Comment down below if any of these resonate with you. And if they did, that's great. It means you're paying attention. Leadership isn't just about getting results, it's about empowering your team to be their best, even when you're not around. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you're intentional, self-aware, and willing to admit that sometimes the way you lead is actually the thing holding your team back. Now, that powerful tool I was talking about, as promised, whenever there is tension or a conflict that you or someone else is involved in, ask yourself or the parties involved, how did we get here? And then follow that up with, what part did I play in getting us to this point? These powerful questions will help you or the people involved to be more reflective and critical of the actions they took to create the situation. This tool has worked on me and has gotten people I coach out of a lot of jams just by asking these simple questions. As always, thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, tap the like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep pushing to become better leaders together. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Take care. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.